Okay, welcome back. Now I'm going to be taking a look at this Link cartridge. Now this is the final cartridge in this lot, and upon first inspection it looks like it's working. So I'm just going to go through the screens a little bit here and see if there's a fault. So when I had first put my 3 initials in, I didn't see any problem with it because I don't play Adventure to Link that often. So then I started moving around and I noticed that the background isn't supposed to be blue, and I didn't alter the speed in this footage in any way. Link is just sluggish, the overworld screen looks wrong, and yeah, there is some graphic distortion glitches up on the top of the screen. So this is the Silent Hill version of Adventure of Link. This is the creepypasta version. But yeah, I'm gonna take a look at this, see if I can fix it. So upon opening up the cartridge, I don't really see anything wrong with it. It doesn't look dirty. I don't see any broken traces. So at first I didn't think I can fix this. I figured the best I can do is maybe board swap. But then I thought about the first cartridge I fixed, the Dragon Warrior 3. And so the first thing I'm going to do is just swap the RAM chip. I mean, this seems to be a solution that solved the problem I had. And I have a Vegas stream this time. So I'm going to take the RAM, the work RAM off of Vegas stream, and pop it in this cartridge, see if that helps. If it doesn't work for me, then I'll just put it back on the Vegas stream. It is a bit time consuming, but the way I see it is, if I figure something out or if I can solve a problem, the next time I have this problem, I already know from previous experience. So it's much quicker and it's easier to troubleshoot in the future. So you waste time once, it may seem like a waste of time, but once you try it, if it doesn't work, next time I just won't try that. So that's the way I see it. So I've been talking over all of my work here. Let me just give you a quick recap. Now I removed the Zelda, the chip off the Zelda cartridge on screen, and then the Vegas stream I did off screen. It's basically the same, so it was just easier for me to just not record and just do it really quick off screen. And so now I'm soldering the Vegas stream RAM chip onto the Zelda board, and let's see what happens. Hopefully I can get this thing to work. So I've already tested this off screen. As you can see, my initials STE are there already. The battery's working fine, and this game seems to be working fine as well. So the work RAM chips, they do tend to go bad. Now that's 2 games in one lot that have bad work RAM chips. So it just goes to show that you can fix some of these games with the off-the-shelf chip, and for a couple of cents you don't have to cannibalize any cartridges. Now in this case, I did destroy 2 cartridges. I did cannibalize 2 work RAM chips from other cartridges, but stick around to the end of this video and I have something to say on that. So here's the cartridge fully assembled. I'm gonna test it one more time. Yeah, this game is working, so that's one more for the working pile. And in the end of this video, I'm gonna show you the working pile with the non-working pile from this lot. So it's been about a week and I ordered these chips off UT Source. I'm going to leave in the description the exact link for these chips. Now on NES games, there are many different brands of work RAM chips and SRAM chips. They're the same chip except different brands. So in this case, I ordered Fujitsu chips, the Fujitsu brand chips, and they were the cheapest that I can find. They were less than $1 a piece. But yeah, you can find Sony brand, many different brand chips. In my case, I had 2 chips that were Sony brand that failed. So I mean, these chips do fail. I'm not gonna blame the Sony brand chips for being inferior, but I just avoided them just for the simple cost reason. So these Fujitsu chips don't actually have a dot to indicate the first pin, so it's a little bit tricky. Some chips have an indent, as you can see the chip on the left, on bottom left, have an indent on them, and the chip on the bottom right actually has a dot. The Fujitsu chip just has a line that goes across, so you want to put the line, in this case, to the top near the capacitor. So after I solder it in place and clean up the flux, I'm gonna assemble it one hand here. And the game is working. It's asking me to begin a new quest. I'm just pressing anything just to get to the game. So the game is working. So those chips do come in handy. I'm actually gonna fix the VGRestore next. So I left a footnote in the cartridge just for the future reference, but since I fixed it, I'll just take the footnote out, and that's always what I keep for myself, just something. If I do work on a project and I damage something, or if I fix something, or I attempt to repair, I always leave a log for myself in the future. I mean, it's just something that helps me out. So here's the VGRestore. I got this off JJ Games years ago. I hear that they went out of business recently, or they're going to be rebranding, something like that. I know I was buying many games from JJ Games years ago, before the prices of the carts went up. NES games went up in price, and I just stopped acquiring. But I still, even so, I do got a fair bit of NES games. So I've already done this twice in this video, so I'm just gonna let this play out. I hope it's not boring for anybody. So here's the game. I'm gonna assemble it with one hand here. Now, as you can expect, the game is working. So VGRestore back good as new. Now here with one hand, I'm trying to get out of this, just inputting anything, and it's just not going away. So I'm actually just frantically pressing the buttons. So just bear in mind that I just tried to get through. Finally, I did get to the game. So here's VGRestore. Now, blackjack for virtual currency. I couldn't think of anything more boring. So now I'm going to just reassemble everything, and I'm going to show you the working pile and the not working pile from the lot. And I also have one more game I did fix off camera. I want to note I did use one of the RAM chips as well. So just keep in mind that some games use character ROMs and some games use character RAMs. Now, if they use a character RAM and it's an 8 kilobit RAM chip, you can also swap in the RAM chips from this video, and it'll get them working as well. At least in my case, I did get the game to work. Unfortunately, I didn't make a video out of it. I didn't think it was going to work, to be honest with you, so I didn't record it, but it did work, and I want to mention it, so I think it's important. So here's the chips one last time. Now, the part number is listed on the bottom of the label there, 8454A-15L. So if you want to search online for that, if you find a cheaper price on these chips somewhere using that code, go for it. But I am going to link in the description where I got these chips. So as promised, here's the working pile and the non-working pile. First games I couldn't get to work were the Miss Pac-Man and the Castlevania 4. And actually this Contra, before I recorded this footage, wasn't working. After I realized that this actually uses a character RAM chip rather than a character ROM chip. So I swapped it with one of these chips and it worked just fine. Now what was wrong with it, I couldn't get, the game was working but the sprites were all glitched up. So I replaced the character RAM and it fired right up. Now as you can tell, I fixed some of these on previous videos. These two Pokemon games here, I just reflowed the chips on both the chips on these games and it fired right up. So I didn't record that, unfortunately. I didn't think it would make for a good video. Obviously these two games I did fix on camera, and the Rocket Knight, and all these games I fixed on camera. So this was all the same lot. Now here's some games that were already fixed. All I did was clean them and they fired right up in this lot. It was this Quack Shot. One Miss Pac-Man was already working. This Jeopardy cart I actually bought at Digital Press, so I cannibalized this. So I have to add this to the non-working pile anymore. But it was a worthy sacrifice. And also these Dragon Warriors, they were going to be sacrificed, but they're working as well. So I can't really count them as not working anymore. So I wouldn't. But it is part of this lot. It wasn't part of this lot, but I did fix some of the carts in this lot with parts that I had from other games. So here's the stack. Obviously the one on the left is the working pile, and I think I got my money's worth out of this lot, and I enjoyed these videos. So just stay tuned. If you like these videos, me troubleshooting cartridges or fixing cartridges, I'm actually liking these videos more than the console repairs. But I will be doing a little bit of both, but I'm probably going to focus more on cartridge based repairs. But anyway, thanks for watching.